The story begins on Valentine's Day, when a young woman named Gina is feeling utterly miserable. Her boyfriend isn't returning her calls, and when she finally sees him, she catches him cheating with another woman. Enraged, she douses him with water and snatches back the love pendant he had once given her. Soon after, her life collides with Vincent's, the broad-shouldered, commanding manager of the country's most luxurious hotel, a place frequented by famous actors, singers, and countless celebrities. Thanks to her luck, Gina manages to rent a room there. Once inside, she strips down and stands in the middle of the room, belting out her favorite songs. Unfortunately, she sings so loudly that the front desk starts getting complaints from other guests about the unbearable noise. Vincent himself comes to her door. Even when Gina suddenly flashes her leg at him, he stays composed, telling her that her singing is extremely disruptive and asking her to quiet down. As he tries to leave, Gina clings to him, mistaking him for her cheating ex-boyfriend. She starts treating him with the same hostility she once received. In the chaos, Vincent trips over a bottle, sending them both tumbling onto the bed. Thinking he's a pervert, Gina smacks him over the head with the bottle. The next morning, she's shocked to see Vincent still in her bed, looking like he's about to pounce. She kicks him out, but before leaving, he explains that the wine she spilled cost $600 and insists she pay for it immediately. Gina assumes this is some kind of scam, but quickly realizes she's in an ultra-luxurious 5-star hotel and Vincent is indeed the manager. Furious, she posts a 1-star review of the hotel online, sparking a flood of negative comments from others. Convinced the hotel's reputation is in danger, Vincent springs into action. First, he fires the cleaning lady who had insulted Gina. Then, tracking Gina down at her home, he makes her a surprising offer: become the hotel's undercover guest experience investigator, ensuring that every guest leaves happier. Vincent tells Gina she can live in the hotel and, on top of that, offers her a salary of $200 a day. The moment she hears the amount, her attitude does a complete 180, and she happily accepts. But as she's celebrating, she trips and falls right on top of Vincent. When their eyes meet, something stirs deep inside him, a spark that ignites the first hint of their romance. Vincent assigns her the most luxurious room in the hotel. While signing the contract, Gina wastes no time giving her blunt opinion on everything, from the texture of the sheets to the color of the walls, pointing out every little detail that could annoy Vincent. He tries to remain calm, but she clearly drives him crazy. Later, the doorbell rings, and to her surprise, Vincent walks in with a birthday cake. No one had remembered her birthday before, so this small gesture touches her deeply and makes her fall even harder for him. Gina throws herself into her new mission, checking that the floors are spotless, the cafeteria food is up to standard, and the wealthy guests are treated with the utmost care. Soon, Vincent starts keeping her close as his assistant, though he tries to maintain some emotional distance. One day, they're asked to pose for a photo for the hotel's website. They share a smile for just a few seconds, but it's enough to soften the tension between them. Over time, their relationship improves, and Gina invites Vincent to her favorite small restaurant, a place she frequented when she was struggling financially. There, she surprises him with a tasting of all her favorite dishes, revealing parts of her life that even his own family doesn't know about. Her warmth even inspires him to cook, proving that her presence is having a positive effect on his guarded heart. When Gina is at her lowest, Vincent waits for her at the hotel entrance to cheer her up. The way he looks at her seems to fill her with new energy and hope. However, he then delivers bad news. A guest has filed a complaint against her, and if she's not more careful, she could be kicked out. Vincent chooses to prioritize work over defending her, which makes Gina furious. She calls him fake, and her words weigh heavily on him all night. The next day, he apologizes, sending gifts to her room and trying to win her over with both kindness and charm. That night, while they're talking, Gina playfully chases him down a hallway. They don't notice the door closing behind them until it locks. Vincent tries every trick he knows to open it, but it's no use. They're officially stuck together. When the power suddenly goes out, Vincent and Gina call for their assistant, only to catch him in the bathroom, clearly in the middle of his business. Since it's Gina's phone, she takes charge and tells him not to bother coming. They end up having a small, impromptu picnic in the dim light. Suddenly, Vincent hears a noise and freezes, convinced there might be rats. Out of nervousness, he ends up lying down next to her, so close their shoulders almost touch. The next morning, hotel staff search for them and eventually find them cuddled up. Gina gets up first, walking out confidently as if nothing happened. Vincent, on the other hand, ends up putting on her tie to cover his embarrassment, hiding his face as he leaves. But the one thing they can't hide? The rumors now swirling that the hotel boss spent the night with a woman. The gossip spreads like wildfire, whispered in hallways, passed along over coffee, and eventually posted in the staff's work WhatsApp group for everyone to see. Vincent plays it cool, acting every bit the professional hotel manager, showing no sign of affection. Still, Gina can't get him out of her head. She even imagines him on top of her, sharing a passionate moment. Then, new rumors start to fly. This time, that Vincent is married with 2 children. The claim has no truth whatsoever, but Gina believes it and confronts him, accusing him of being a scoundrel for cheating on his supposed wife. Finally, Vincent can't stand it anymore. He firmly tells her the rumors are false, he is not married. The tension between them is so charged that they end up just inches from each other's lips. No matter how much they fight, the attraction is undeniable. Later, Gina is invited to a hotel party. She arrives dressed in a stunningly sexy outfit, instantly becoming the center of attention. 2 women, both on the hunt for rich husbands, quickly see her as a threat, because now all eyes are on Gina instead of them. The women try to intimidate her, but Gina refuses to be rattled. Things escalate when one of them throws a cake, only for it to splatter across the other woman's cleavage. Chaos breaks out. One of the women goes to slap Gina, just as someone else splashes water in her face. She tries to grab glasses to throw, but the crowd quickly pulls them away, making it clear she's not welcome. Just when things are about to get worse, a man steps forward, Vincent. Without hesitation, he shields Gina from the incoming wine, taking the hit himself like a hero. Vincent scolds her, reminding her that in a 5-star hotel, mistakes are unacceptable. In a moment of frustration, he decides to fire her. But the instant the words leave his mouth, he regrets it, because she has become the paradise of his mind. Later, he spots her standing in the middle of the road as a truck barrels toward her. A young man named Linyu, quick on his feet, rushes in and saves her. Vincent is both relieved and unsettled, glad she's safe, but uneasy that someone else is now showing her such attention. Gina spends more time with Linyu, her childhood friend, who clearly has feelings for her. Jealous and desperate, Vincent competes with anyone for her attention and even begs her to return to the hotel. But at first, she brushes him off. Vincent urges her to listen to her heart. When that doesn't work, he stages a grand romantic gesture. While Gina is riding the bus, he suddenly appears outside, holding up a sign apologizing for hurting her and promising to do everything he can to become a better man. The gesture touches her deeply. 2 theatrical women nearby tease her, saying she has the perfect boyfriend. Gina laughs, thinking he's crazy, but in her heart, she knows love is a beautiful kind of madness, built on trust. She agrees to come back to him, but this time she insists on working as a hotel cleaner, determined to earn her place through hard work. One day, a drunk, recently divorced man threatens to jump off a cliff. Gina steps in, sharing a heartbreaking and partly fabricated story about being dumped on her wedding day. Her emotional story works. The man is moved to tears and steps away from the ledge. But just as Vincent arrives, he sees her with red eyes and immediately assumes she's been drinking on the job. Furious, he scolds her. Later, when he learns the truth, that she saved a man's life, his anger turns into admiration. Wanting to help her improve, he puts her through intense training, hovering close to make sure she does everything by the book. Vincent advises Gina to smile more for the guests. But when she tries, her expression ends up looking more like she's desperately holding in a bathroom break than being friendly. One day, a foreign guest asks her for help, and then boldly asks if she'd like to be his girlfriend. Before she can answer, Vincent steps in. To scare the man off, Gina quickly claims that Vincent is her boyfriend, and the guest leaves. Later, she admits that she gets so nervous around Vincent that she can't seem to do anything right, an admission that hints she has feelings for him. That night, Gina convinces herself that Vincent is going to end up in her bed and kiss her. She prepares with a sultry pose, and when he arrives in her room, she boldly starts taking off his clothes. They end up rolling around in bed until they tumble onto the floor. But then Vincent calmly explains he was only there to check whether she had put the sheets on correctly, and even pretends he didn't like her work. Vincent knows that if anyone finds out he's romantically involved with an employee, it could turn into a scandal. As he walks away, he carefully presses his legs together because his pants have torn from their earlier tussle. Despite trying to keep things professional, Vincent can't resist spoiling her. He gifts her a gorgeous dress for a perfume launch event. At the party, she steals the spotlight. Guests form a circle around her, trying to get a closer look. Overwhelmed, Gina slips away, but in the chaos, someone throws a shoe her way. Before she can put it on, Vincent stops her, not out of rudeness, but because in his eyes, she's his Cinderella, and he wants to treat her with admiration. However, the event soon turns into a competition to determine the most beautiful couple. Gina is paired on stage with Lou, which instantly sparks Vincent's jealousy. He jumps into the contest to keep them apart. His ex-girlfriend, Sway, also can't resist and goes up pretending to be Vincent's partner. Annoyed, Vincent leans toward Gina and whispers that if she pretends to be his girlfriend, he'll raise her salary by $300 a day. She agrees, and they both get pulled into a hilariously awkward game involving hammering. In front of everyone, each man defends the honor of his beloved. The competition leaves Vincent sweating so much that his dark circles are visible. Gina helps him put on makeup, and in the quiet moment, the tension between them heats up like a blazing sauna. They realize their bond is unique. No matter how much they fight, their love lingers in their hearts. They open up about their secrets, share their favorite music, and spend an especially romantic night together. The next day, while traveling, they end up hitchhiking. They stop a bike, and Vincent, determined to protect her, lifts her onto it like a princess. He pushes with all his strength, and somehow, he never seems to tire, because seeing her face and looking into her eyes gives him a strength he can't control. One day, Lin Yu checks into the hotel as a guest and asks Gina to come to his room, pretending he needs it cleaned. In reality, he has prepared a romantic dinner to confess his feelings to her. The atmosphere is perfect for such a confession, but Vincent finds out. Furious, Vincent scolds her, saying that a hotel employee cannot go on a date during work hours, as it damages the hotel's reputation. He whisks her away and puts her somewhere safe, a place only he knows. While they're working together later, they hear the eerie echo of a distant scream. Following the sound, they discover a hidden door that leads to a massive secret room. Inside, they find a man sleeping. It turns out he's a former hotel security guard who had been fired for a mistake on the job and had nowhere else to go, so he's been secretly living there. Gina soon realizes the hotel hides more secrets than she ever imagined. Things take an even stranger turn when she spots a little girl with long hair who looks like a ghost. The girl says she's lost, so Gina tries to cheer her up by offering a mango candy, unaware that the girl is allergic. The child collapses, and she's rushed to the hospital. Racked with guilt, Gina is relieved when the girl recovers, but the girl's mother responds by hiring a lawyer to sue the hotel. The lawyers also spread spooky ghost stories about the incident to pressure the hotel into paying up before guests start leaving. Fortunately, Vincent steps in, showing the mother a video of Gina saving her daughter's life. Even after seeing the video, the mother continues with the lawsuit, until her daughter finally speaks up, revealing that she had chosen the candy herself as a way to get her mother's attention. It turns out the entire incident stemmed from a lonely little girl who just wanted her mom to spend more time with her. The misunderstanding is resolved, and peace returns. Soon after, Gina learns her grandmother has gone missing. She and Vincent spend hours searching until they finally find her. Gina gently tries to comfort her and reassure her, but due to Alzheimer's, her grandmother doesn't recognize her. Mistaking the situation for a kidnapping, she even calls the police. The most heartbreaking part is knowing that her grandmother will never be the same woman who once loved her so deeply, and Gina is left grieving the loss of that bond. Vin helps Gina through this painful time, staying by her side as she opens her heart to him. She tells him that her parents abandoned her when she was young, and it was her grandmother who raised her, taught her, and shaped her into the woman she is today. That's why seeing her grandmother like this hurts so deeply. Hearing her story stirs Vincent's own buried memories. He recalls the day his mother died when he was just a child. In that moment, their shared wounds form a powerful emotional connection. Two broken souls who understand each other better than anyone else could. Being together feels like heaven for both of them. One night, while they're out, Gina causes a bit of a scene and insists she just wants to go to Vincent's room. He carries her to bed and holds her in his arms. She asks him to stroke her hair, telling him that his touch feels like heaven. The next morning, she's embarrassed about her behavior. Her friends ask if she and Vincent are dating, but she doesn't know what to say. Later, she finds security footage showing the two of them sharing a brief kiss, something she can't get out of her head. Soon, she's longing for everything about him. His body, his touch, his soul. Things take an awkward turn when they end up having a meal with two other potential suitors. Under the table, without the others knowing, they exchange messages chastising each other for entertaining other people. Tension boils over when Sway reveals that, as children, she and Vincent often slept in the same bed, and that she knows every detail of his body, even claiming she could count the moles on his backside. Overcome with jealousy, Gina slams the table and storms off. Soon after, a famous astrologer named Miss Bailey, beloved by millions and known for her impeccable reputation, arrives at the hotel. She's given the most luxurious room, and Vincent personally greets her, offering his assistance for anything she needs. Miss Bailey finds him attractive and uses a ruse, pretending she's lost her earrings. Once inside, she takes the opportunity to hug him as though they're the only two people in the world. Unfortunately for her, Gina happens to be passing by. Furious, Gina pulls Vincent away from the embrace and warns him never to let something like that happen again. Vincent politely apologizes to Miss Bailey, but she explains that she only hugged him because he resembled someone she once liked. Gina isn't swayed, telling her that's no excuse for being so forward. Vincent has to hold Gina back to keep her from hitting the woman before leaving. Surprisingly, he's not angry, because her jealousy is proof that she truly loves him. Overjoyed, Vincent decides to invite Gina to his home, a place where very few women have ever been. He dresses sharply and prepares a series of special dishes just for her. She sits there, flustered, unsure how to act. But what embarrasses her most is when he notices a grain of rice stuck to her lips. Without hesitation, he leans in and removes it. Completely smitten, Gina blurts out that she likes him, but quickly adds that she doesn't think she's pretty, so if he rejects her, she won't be angry. Vincent scoffs at the idea. "What nonsense," he says. "I'd never reject you." Then he confesses that he loves everything about her. The moment turns electric as Vincent leans toward her and gives her a sweet, soul-piercing kiss. One so intense it leaves her breathless and choking on her own emotions. From that day on, the early stage of their relationship feels like pure perfection. They steal kisses in every corner, pass secret love notes, and enjoy every moment together. Though Vincent warns her not to give him special treatment at work, since the hotel manual forbids workplace romances, he doesn't actually care about the rule. He showers her with kisses anyway, right up until the moment a girl interrupts them. To cover for the situation, Vincent pretends the bedsheets are all messed up. But their love is soon tested when Vincent's father arrives unexpectedly, demanding that his son marry, and insisting that Sway is the perfect choice because of her wealth and high standing at the hotel. Later, Gina spots a man smoking inside the hotel. Since it's against the rules, she promptly tells him to put it out, unaware that he's Vincent's father. Enraged, the man orders Vincent to fire her immediately. Vincent refuses, standing firmly by his beloved's side and ensuring she keeps her job. His father retaliates by spreading malicious rumors about Gina, turning friends and guests against her. But Gina isn't one to sit back quietly. She even tries to get revenge by hitting him with a bottle. The older man demands again that Vincent fire her, but Vincent stands his ground, declaring that she's not only essential to the hotel but to his life. Vincent, ever her protector, stays by her side, promising that under his care she will never have to worry again. But Vincent's father has other plans. He forces Vincent to go on dates with Sway under his watch, hoping to push them into marriage. For Lena, the cruelest part is having to watch her boyfriend being seduced by another woman right in front of her. Sway takes every opportunity to taunt her, laughing smugly. Fed up, Lena boldly eats the shrimp Sway was about to take, showing she won't be intimidated. But then disaster strikes. Vincent accidentally drops a sign on his own head, suffering a serious injury that leaves him in the hospital for days. Lena becomes his devoted nurse, surrounding him with love and care. This experience bonds them even more deeply. Not long after, they take a trip together and place a padlock engraved with his name and a heart on a lover's fence, symbolizing that they'll never be apart. Later, they get playful. Lena gives him love notes with little tasks to complete. One note tells him to lie down for a massage. It starts gently and he enjoys it, until she suddenly turns into a lioness, working his muscles with fierce determination. They laugh together, their bond stronger than ever, and decide they're done hiding their relationship. From then on, they walk hand in hand through the hotel, unafraid of what anyone might say, and share warm hugs in full view of others. On a romantic getaway, they rent a special love room with a single bed, the kind meant for couples on Valentine's Day. Yet despite the intimacy of the setting, they both feel shy, hesitant to touch or openly express their deepest feelings. At one point, Vincent even falls out of bed. To break the tension, they start drinking and drinking until the alcohol strips away their shyness. The spark that had been smoldering for months finally ignites, and Vincent kisses her with passionate intensity, wanting to taste and feel every part of her mouth. Their love becomes so overwhelming that it takes over completely. They no longer have any control over their own bodies or hearts. But just when life feels perfect, Vincent's father announces his plan to sell the hotel. For Vincent, this is unthinkable. He's devoted his entire life to making it the best it can be, and he refuses to see it shut down. Determined, he begins asking guests to sign a petition to help him save it. The guests agree, on one condition: the hotel must host more parties, more joy, and more love. Vincent is the perfect person for this, they say, because his heart is full of love, and the butterflies in his chest are in sync with Lena's. Together, they are a perfect team, ready to face the future with smiles. In the end, Vincent is elected president of the hotel. His father can do nothing to stop it, no matter how much he yells. The lovebirds celebrate their victory, and Vincent tells Lena to make a wish. She closes her eyes and wishes for good health, for her friends, for her grandmother, and most of all, for the man she loves. Vincent thanks her deeply and surprises her with news. His team wants her to join hotel management. But there's a catch. She must study abroad for 2 years to prepare. Though her heart aches, Lena accepts. She says goodbye to her grandmother and makes one last visit to the house where she lived as a child, cherishing the memories that shaped her. Still, a sadness lingers. No one from her family is there to care for her now. Vincent promises her that from this moment forward, he will be the one to take care of her, and that his love will always remain in her heart, no matter what life throws their way. When the day comes for her to leave, Vincent is nowhere in sight, which both hurts and angers her. But just as she's about to depart, she realizes the taxi driver is none other than Vincent himself. Of course he's there. He tells her that not a single second will pass without him thinking of her, and that she will always be happy in his heart. Vincent promises her that when she returns, he'll be the very first to greet her, with a kiss. She boards the plane, and he continues managing the hotel. But for Vincent, the joy feels incomplete, because Lena isn't there to share it with him. A year later, Lena finally makes her grand return to the hotel, filling Vincent with indescribable happiness. Now, she has all the skills needed to run the hotel by his side. But instead of greeting him with warmth, she speaks as if she's angry. Confused, Vincent is called to reception, where a sweet-voiced Santa Claus is waiting. This mysterious Santa begins showing him a series of gifts, each one tied to the memories of his love story with Lena. One by one, Vincent examines the objects, each one a memento from their love story, and suddenly it clicks. The sweet-voiced Santa Claus is Lena herself, still loving him with all her heart. Then, from behind the Christmas tree, she steps forward, radiant in a wedding dress. She reminds him of the promise she made the very first time they met, that they would one day be married. She tells him she can't spend another moment away from him, and Vincent feels the same. Being apart from her is like watching his soul slowly fade away. Without hesitation, he asks the question that's been living in his heart: will she be his wife for life? Overcome with emotion, tears shining in her eyes, Lena says yes. They promise not only to share this life together, but all the days to come. And not just this life, they vow to spend eternity together. On their wedding night, Their love burns even brighter, wilder, and more unstoppable than ever before. A fire that dances to the rhythm of their hearts is proof that love can survive every obstacle, every separation, and every test. Because when two hearts beat for each other, nothing can keep them apart. If their journey touched your heart, don't let the story end here. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another tale of love, passion, and destiny.